Many say that in politics there is always a good and a bad side, and at the same time some argue that politics is only a game of interests. Whatever the case is and however politics may be, it still remains a determinant factor in every democratic government, and that is why those who thirst for power and those who seek to heal the society all aspire to express themselves by contesting elections with the hope of winning. And that is why we begin today's edition by taking you to Ekiti State, where we take a look at the most recent utterances of the much renowned and in some quarters much despicable governor of Ekiti State, who is none other than Ayodele Fayose. But before we do so, we take a short break. I am Oluyemisi Olubi, and welcome to Political Arena. One unique thing about democracy is freedom of speech.
Who is Alimodu Sheriff?
One interesting thing about freedom of speech is that it keeps politicians scathingly vocal.
If Buhari is confident of himself, let us visit his own administration.
I think it's stupid for anybody to say that.
As battlefield and intriguing as politics is, when politicians discuss the economy, we can't help but wonder if the giant of Africa will rise again.
Everybody who has been sworn in today realizes the fact that it's a call to action.
We've been asked to deliver change.
Our government shall continue more decisively to implement its policies in respect for the economy and in other areas.
We watch them pledge loyalties.
If I will be the last man standing, I will remain in peace.
We vote for them and we empower them. Join me, Oluyemisi, on Political Arena as we keep an eye on politics every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. and a repeat broadcast on Tuesdays at 1:15 p.m. Welcome back. Recently, some protestants took to the streets of Ekiti, protesting the alleged involvement of Governor Ayodele Fayose in the Dasuki scandal and also the inability of the state government to pay salaries. Take a look.
In a situation where the money that is meant for thousands of us, hundreds of thousands of people in Ekiti State, and is being embezzled by a single individual, it is enough. Yes. We are not satisfied with it. It's unacceptable to us, and that is why we have gathered today and to say, an end has come to this government in Ekiti State.
Nigerian students in Ekiti State, we are saying, we are emphatically stated that we are in support of the EFCC investigation, irrespective of the situation. Whatever may be coming out from anywhere, they must have hired students from in and crowding outside Ekiti State. Recently, we witnessed that.
Fayose is going.
Yes.
Am I right? Yes. Fayose is going. This is the beginning of the end. This rally is going to be a continuous something that we are going to continue to leave this.
How Governor Fayose responded is something that might interest you a little.
We have not had it so bad in Nigeria. There is no money. The price of kerosene now is 220. The common man is suffering under the wash of Buhari. You are fighting corruption. People are hungry. Is it only corruption you have come to fight? People will not eat again. In our history, how can you increase fuel from 86 to 145? That is a very wicked government. No amount of intimidation and harassment will shut my mouth.
God will disgrace EFCC. He has done it before. He will do it again. Let me tell you something. When you get money for your election, I don't know National Security Advisor. And up till now, National Security Advisor has not come out to say I gave Fayose money. Obanikoro is not in Nigeria to say he gave Fayose money. But because of conspiracy, this man must not have peace. This man must not know peace. It is not me you are disturbing, it's Ekiti people. So, the secretary and the chairman will stand beside me here. We want to walk the street of Adwekiti. Yes. We want to show them that we are in charge. Yes. We want to tell them we have possessed the land. Yes. Let you see
Well, at times, many of these actions turn out to be a bit puzzling. We currently live in a country with a population of about 200 million people, and politics seems to be tearing the country apart, as most people don't even know who to believe anymore. 1 minute, a humongous crowd is protesting against a governor, and the next minute, that same governor storms the street with a bigger crowd chanting his name. And that exactly leads me to the governorship tussle in Abia State. The matter is beginning to seem like a situation where things are falling apart and the center has completely lost its hold. Or how do you explain a situation where two high court rulings contradict themselves? A federal high court in Owerri, Imo State on Friday dismissed a suit challenging the nomination and election of Keze Ikpeazu as governor of Abia State. A former governorship aspirant, Friday Nwosu, had filed a suit challenging the nomination of Ikpeazu as the candidate of the People's Democratic Party during the party's primary in December 2014. He contended that the tax documents presented by the governor were forged. The PDP and other aspirants, Uche Oga, were also listed as defendants in the suit. But ruling on the matter, Justice A.I. Alagwa said Nwosu could not prove that the tax documents were forged and maintained that Ikpeazu can lay claim to his mandate. But contrary to that ruling, on the same day, a federal high court in Abuja affirmed that the certificate of return issued to Uche Oga by the Independent National Electoral Commission paving the way for him to be sworn in as governor of Abia State is valid. Justice Okon Abang ruled that the two separate judgments delivered on June 27, removing Okezie Ikpeazu as governor of Abia State and ordering Oga to be sworn in as governor in his stead, could no longer be stayed. This, he says, is because the Independent National Electoral Commission had already issued fresh certificates of return to Oga. And all this begs a few questions. Why is there so much inconsistency in the Nigerian judiciary? Are our courtrooms guided by different forms of practice? How is it possible for two high courts to differ on the same matter? Could it be that the court is taking the lead in the process of usurping a legitimate office? Or could it be that the law is much involved in ensuring that a mandate is stolen forever? Because we cannot understand how a tax certificate is valid in Owerri and is nullified in Abuja. These questions and many more remain puzzles that the average Nigerian wants to see solved. We go on a short break. Do join us again. One unique thing about democracy is freedom of speech.
Who is Alimodu Sharif?
One interesting thing about freedom of speech is that it keeps politicians scathingly vocal.
If Buhari is confident of himself, let us visit his own administration.
I think it's stupid for anybody to say that.
As battlefield and intriguing as politics is, when politicians discuss the economy, we can't help but wonder if the giant of Africa will rise again.
Everybody who has been sworn in today realizes the fact that it's a call to action.
We've been asked to deliver change.
Our government shall continue more decisively to implement its policies in respect for the economy and in other areas.
We watch them pledge loyalties.
If I will be the last man standing, I will remain in peace.
We vote for them and we empower them. Join me, Oluyemisi, on Political Arena as we keep an eye on politics every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. and a repeat broadcast on Tuesdays at 1:15 p.m. Welcome back. Chief Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola, mostly referred as MKO Abiola, was a popular Nigerian businessman, publisher, and politician. He ran for the office of the president in 1993 and is widely regarded as the presumed winner of the inconclusive election since no official final results were announced. The election was annulled and in the end Abiola was detained. He died in custody on the 7th of July 1998, which is why we're remembering him today. If Abiola were alive, he would be 79 years old this year. So in remembrance of this astute politician, we take you back in time to see the high points of the presidential debate between MKO Abiola and Bashir Tofa, as he gave responses regarding his plans for education, technology, the issue of petroleum, cost of food in comparison to the price of petroleum.
Well, education is a very difficult crisis in Nigeria. So much so that we simply will have to start all over again. The priority has to be accorded to education in everything that we do. Forget about technology. Education itself. I was calculating about 2 weeks ago. We are now in the month of June. At that time, it was about the 22nd of May. Children in Nigeria lost 3 months from the classroom. They don't even know what the classroom look like anymore in serious. Teachers are on strike, they are not on strike, there's some problems here and there. And see, we must take politics out of education and education out of politics. Education is our future. If you say that you really must look at the percentages and so on before you can fund education, well, it's expensive. But how less expensive is ignorance. So there's a fundamental position there. Then you go to basic things like library. There are no books in any library, in primary schools, in secondary schools. There are no laboratory equipment. Boys doing their honors degree in sciences do what they call theoretical practical. Ordinary test tube, ordinary bulb for microscope and not available. No pipette, no test tubes. We have to really get certain basic things right. We are not going to be able to join the world as we know it at the end of the end of this century unless we do something extra. But we can have a shortcut. We have a lot of Nigerians, many of them, in America, in Europe, even in Russia. You see, the number 2 man in Chernobyl, that nuclear power plant that blew up, was a Nigerian. He was on vacation in the U.S. They sent a whole Illusion Institute to go and bring him back to get things done. I know the young man, only 41. So there are Nigerians in these key areas of technological advancement who we can bring back into Nigeria. And that is what I intend to do. Have a transit arrangement with them. They have to take some time off from their place of work, come and see things at home, encourage with money. We will give them houses, 4-bedroom houses and so on.
Back from Abiola, I think it is your turn. What is going to be your policy on agriculture if you become president?
The policy on agriculture is to more than double efforts on food production. I went into farming purely to make sure that Nigerians don't starve. What I saw in Ethiopia worried me for a month. Children were dying as if they were flies. And there was a place where about 40 plane loads of food a day will do. Heaven forbid bad things. We should have famine in this country. How many plane loads of food will do? So I took it upon myself to start large-scale farming. I thank God I did. It was the most satisfying thing I've ever done in my life. And I've been lucky about the people I work with too. If you treat farm workers well, as you treat any worker well, they will work very honestly with you. I believe in working with people, not people working for me. And that has helped quite a lot in Dakar. It's far away from here, about 2,000 kilometers. And the people who are put in charge are the indigenous of the area. At the high point, we employ about 2,000 people to assist. And they've done first-class job for us. We paved the road to the farm. Government needs to do the same thing, and they are. Thank God they are. When we came back from Malaysia, we recommended on the NAUDA idea. Government bought the idea, and they put a lot of money behind it. It is now ready to receive the first cooperative farmers, the first of its type in Nigeria. I'm very proud about my association with that project. With that, we will have plenty of food, all right? Because the farmers are being given a loan of all the inputs. And from the proceeds of their sales, they will start repaying over time. That will improve the standard of living. It will make food abundant in Nigeria. The prices will fall. And we might even be able to start exporting as we used to do before. So I will put a lot of energy behind that.
Well, some have argued that all politicians are the same, and others have also stated that if Abiola had won, perhaps the country may be in a better shape by now. Anyway, that was the presidential debate. Let's take a look at that crucial moment Abiola organized the press conference to protest the delay of the 1993 presidential election results.
There were postponements and cancellations too. The country knows how busy and how otherwise occupied I've been all my life. Knowing fully well the misfortune of other distinguished Nigerians in the recent past, I made the wildest possible consultation and sought assurances that I would not be chasing shadows. These assurances were given, in some cases from the highest level of government. I consulted the president himself, and he gave the assurance himself that this time around he was serious. I was therefore convinced that the commitment to civilian rule come August 27, 1993 was firm, settled, and irrevocable. I could not imagine that the purported transgressions of the judiciary could possibly today. Nigerian polls crowd as democracy is put on hold. Nigerian general voice vote blocking civilian rule. I will give you copies of all this. The International Observer Group says so. NEC itself says so. They know it and they said it. In its affidavit to the Court of Appeal in Kaduna, NEC said the results were already unknown. I won.
Well, shortly after that moment, Abiola was arrested and General Ibrahim Babangida, in his words, stepped aside, and in was General Sani Abacha, who gave a new twist to the entire issue. Now, that was the beginning of the end of what was supposed to be a democratic dispensation. A few years after that declaration, Abiola died and was buried in his home, which was thronged by supporters and wailers who couldn't believe that the acclaimed winner would go home in such a manner. But was Abiola a complete hero? What percentage of Nigerian youths believe that this man stood, fought, and died for Nigeria's democracy? On May 29, 2012, in commemoration of Democracy Day, then President Goodluck Jonathan tried to honor the memory of MKO Abiola by naming one of Nigeria's most prestigious universities after him. But to the surprise of many, the students reacted this way.
What I'm saying in that effect is that Abiola never fought for the democracy we are enjoying today. Yes, I stand to be corrected anywhere. Let the dons, the professors of this world, Oxford, Cambridge, Harvard, let them come and argue that with me. I stand to be corrected. Abiola never fought for Nigerian democracy. The Nigerian democracy we are talking about, that we are enjoying today, was gallantly fought by the likes of Chief Gani Faweyimi. I think you understand. Even if there's anybody that's going to be honored to such greater heights, it should be somebody like Gani. And if you want to honor somebody in this Lagos, then it should be the legendary Abat Macaulay. The legendary Abat Macaulay. That was the only man regarded to be the father of nationalism. The first Nigerian to have founded a political party in Nigeria. Now, the issue is, we are not saying he shouldn't go ahead to honor the rogue. See, Abiola, to me, go and listen to Fela's music. He remains one of the thieves in this country. International, please, can you sing that? International Titi, International Titi, International Titi.
After saying that clip, you might be tempted to assume many of these students were too young to witness firsthand what Moshood Abiola stood for. And you could also be tempted to ask if those students were politically induced to protest and reject the renaming of the University of Lagos to Moshood Abiola University. Fast forward to the present, Moshood Abiola was remembered this year by his family, human rights activists, and all those who consider him a man worthy of being called a national hero.
We lost the man and the mandate. 18 years after, all what MKO Abiola promised and stood for, he was for abolition of poverty. Nigerians then voted for a Muslim ticket. But as we speak, 18 years after, our people are more divided along ethnic and religious lines. MKO was for abolition of poverty. Kerosene, gas has gone out of the ordinary reach of the common man. We must make welfare of our people very, very important. So as we remember MKO Abiola, we want to use this occasion to call for the Gazette of the June 12 election result and was belatedly released by Humphrey Rosu. We also want to call for the posthumous declaration of MKO Abiola as a past president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Looking at that clip, one might be tempted to say, do Nigerian politicians think of the most pertinent questions once in a while? Questions like, how will they be remembered when they are gone? Questions like, can gold or silver ever take the place of a good name? Will they ever come to a time when they will understand that there is more to this life than being called a president, a senator, a chairman, or Mr. Honorable? On that note, we come to the end of today's edition of Political Arena. And on behalf of the entire Political Arena crew, I say thanks for watching and join us again same time next week. I am Oluyemisi Olubi.